There are countless videos out there that are going to tell you how to attract a man, but yet from what I see, there is damn near nothing on how to actually keep that man. Now, I'm going to be telling truths in this video that are going to trigger and offend those who are not ready to hear the whole truth. So if you want somebody to pander to you, if you're not ready for a grown-ass relationship, this is not the video for you. I would suggest you click off this video immediately. This is a grown folk conversation. Gone? Okay, gone. You've been warned. If you are not a wife, and I mean the characteristics and the attributes, I'm not talking about the BBL, the lashes. I'm not talking about anything external. I'm not talking about how you got the drip, how you get to the bag. None of that matters without character. If you do not have self-respect, if you do not respect yourself in a real and authentic way, I'm not talking about having an attitude around people. I'm not talking about cussing people out. I'm talking about genuine self-respect. If that's not you, then you're going to have a difficult time maintaining a relationship. If you can't have respect for yourself, therefore have respect for the relationship and have respect for your spouse, for your man's, it's not going to work. A real man has expectations and standards that are not double standards, but instead standards he holds within himself for himself. And so he expects those of his wifey. And there's so much attitude out here and gripe on both sides of like, I'm not going to show up like that until they show up like this. And I'm not going to do that until they do this. And that is nothing more than hard-headedness. That is nothing more than ego. And that ego is going to keep you separate from the very thing that you desire, which is that beautiful relationship dynamic. Now, you have never experienced a real man in your life. So you might even have to go to my original video where I'm explaining what real men find attractive, what a real man actually looking for. You might want to watch that before you even get into this one, right? And I go over the necessity of self-respect and what that looks like. When you genuinely have self-love, not the arrogance and the inflated sense of self, which is really ego, which is really pride, which is really fear-based, right? It's not genuine. It's not authentic. What I'm talking about is a silent confidence. Any man, any woman who has true confidence, it's not going to be outspoken and always in your face. It's like, the little puppy dog, the one that's the most afraid is the one that's always barking the loudest. You don't ever want to be the loudest like that. If you have true confidence, you ain't got to tell everybody you're confident. You ain't got to tell everybody you're the boss and you're the one. They know. When the real boss walks in, everybody knows because it's who they are. Their character is rooted in that. And so back to the point at hand. To keep a man is simple because men are simple. I'm talking about men, I'm not talking about boys. So if you trying to make comparisons with a boy, then you're not going to understand this language. It's going to go over your head like a 747. You understand me? It's not going to land. And so you have to understand that a real man is one who has a different set of values. Yes, physical attraction absolutely is on the table. Yes, those things matter, but they're not of the highest importance. Real men want a solid woman before anything else. Are you somebody who's going to be respectful? Are you somebody who I can trust? Are you somebody who's not just faithful, but also loyal to the relationship? In the same way, we want that vice versa. And if you have a voice in your head right now going, well, what is he doing? You're not ready. You are not ready. You are too immature to have a grown relationship. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not the sugar candy, sugar coated, nothing no more. If you saw one of my old videos and you saw the sugar coater, that's not him anymore. I'm telling it straight up because it's the only way that I can actually help any damn body. So if you are somebody who's still stuck in this mentality of, I ain't going to do nothing for him unless he does something for me. I'm not doing anything for her. If you're in that, it's not going to work. You have to humble yourself. Because again, when you find yourself in the presence of a real man, that's somebody who has humbled himself to a higher power. That's somebody who has humbled himself to something greater. His mission, his purpose, God. He lives an intentional life. He is looking for values. He's looking for self-esteem, self-respect. Somebody who walks through life in integrity, does what they say, says what they do. And that's how he's going to show up. He sets a precedent. He's willing to be a leader in the way that he shows up. He doesn't have to be a tyrant, doesn't have to raise his voice, don't have to yell, don't have to do all that extra stuff. And it's not because he's got the bag that he's a real man. Not what the, he got a six-pack of muscles. Oh, he fine. What does that have to do with, does he have the ability and capability to love you and to receive love? Because if you ain't got that, but you got the bag, then you ain't got a damn thing. All you got is the bag. They say a man who only has money is the poorest man. If that's all you have, Can money make your economic situation better? Yes. But can it fulfill a relationship? Never. It can never fulfill the relationship aspect. That's why there's falling out even of ball players and, chick who thinks she has a come up and all of a sudden she finds herself more miserable than ever. And I'm not saying it's due to, because you don't date ball players or whatever. I'm sure there's some solid dudes there too. But when you put it on these superficial things that you have been sold, you've been sold a lie that this is what a man is. You've been sold a lie that he has to, do this and do that. He's got this type of lifestyle. He's a dope boy, all kinds of foolishness. That's toxicity. That's chaos. That's dysfunction. You thinking a dope boy is a man. Are you kidding me? You lost your mind? A Negro selling dope is a real man? Come on. Don't do that. Don't raise another generation like that, please. Don't perpetuate your own trauma like that. Don't do that. We got to heal and we got to start building healthy relationship dynamics. That's how that works. And so keeping that man, which is, again, it's not clutching on. Keeping relationships are mutual. It's people choosing to be together. So how do you keep this relationship dynamic? And it's got very little to do with bedroom activities. Bedroom activities is a side effect. It's a byproduct. Y'all ladies know. When you're feeling your man and he's showing up in the way that, got you in your feminine, then that's going to be an automatic byproduct of that. That's going to be automatic. You don't start it there. You don't try to fix the problems in there that, are supposed to be taken care of on the outside. You got to get to a point where you and again, it's a self-check. It's a self-regulating. If you're with a solid dude who has these values, who shows up for you, shows up for your family, showing up for himself, you got to get to a point where you understand that the things that he values most are not going to show up in the same way that you do. Because men and women are different. I don't care what this, this new age foolishness got us believing. Men and women are different. For men, respect is everything. Respect doesn't mean you bow down and kiss somebody's feet. Respect means like appreciating, I see you. I see what you're doing. And I'm going to let you go and do what you got to do. Take care of the family. I see like acknowledgement, support. They all fall under respect. I'm not going to be, cussing you out. I'm not going to be snippy with you. I'm not going to treat you like you're lesser than me. If you treat your man like you are above him because your ego is so inflated and your self-esteem is so low, you will lose that man. Hopefully you will lose that man so you can learn the lesson. That will be God's gift to that individual so you learn the lesson. You may be thinking to yourself, why aren't you saying this to the man? I talk to everybody. But right now I'm talking to you because you know what you want. And I'm trying to help you get what you want. These dudes out here telling you some stupid stuff, some foolishness. These women out here tell you some foolishness that is landing you in relationships that do not work, that are dysfunctional. They're telling you to leave good relationships instead of working on them. Instead of working on yourself, they're telling you that you're not at fault. You're not a problem. You ain't got nothing to work on. You perfect. You perfect, boo-boo. He's the problem. He's the problem. Red flag, red flag. What about you? We have to be able to introspect if we're going to have these cohesive relationships. It's where we are. We have to be. That's why I started with self-respect, because it's of self. When we develop and cultivate certain characteristics, the relationship flows. Me and my girl, the reason we have a beautiful bond, the reason why we really are lovers and best friends at the same damn time is because she has self-love and I got self-love. She has respect for herself. I got respect for myself. So when we come together, it only enhances. And we meet each other there. We're able to communicate in a healthy way because we have that respect. We have that acknowledgement. We have that appreciation because we appreciate ourselves to begin with. It has to start as an internal aspect that we can then project outward into the relationship. You have to be willing to humble yourself. Humble yourself does not mean kissing somebody's feet. It does not mean being lesser than. It means being willing to learn. That's humility. Not letting your pride lead you. That's humility. This world will have you thinking some crazy stuff that will lead you nowhere fast as hell. And you wonder, how did I get to a point where I don't have a functional relationship? I can't find somebody who's right. It ain't got to do with finding somebody who's right. Well, I ain't found the right person yet. I need to attract my soulmate. If you attracted your soulmate while you still were in that state of mind, you would sabotage that relationship, guaranteed. If you find somebody who was in a healthy place and you are not there yet, you will sabotage that relationship. This may not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. It's what we all need to hear. I tell men, take accountability. You the leader, right? If you're a man talking about you taking leadership of your household, then you take the onus. I don't give any sort of leeway. I don't give any leeway to anybody. because we know better and we got to do better. And that's how we get the results that we want. If somebody's telling me they want a result out of life, they want this and this and this to happen, I'm going to say, okay, bet. Then what are you willing to do for that result? Well, I mean, everybody, the world's got to change and everything else got to. No, 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 no. You've got to change. It doesn't mean you've got to become something other than what you are, but you got to at least remove whatever is in the way. All the stories, the identity, the trauma, the low self-esteem, the feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness, all the jealousy and envy, you got to let that shit go before you get yourself in a genuinely cohesive relationship. Real men love a woman who is strong, and not in the same way a man is strong. Ain't talking about muscles and going out there to go get the bag. You understand me? That doesn't mean a damn thing to us. Does she stand firm in who she is? Her character. Is she somebody with integrity? Is she somebody who respects herself? When she walks in a room, they're not looking because she got her cheeks out. They're looking because, damn, like she got a glow that's different. That's my bae. When she walks in, everybody notices because she got integrity. Her head is held high. Not because she thinks she's better than you, because she knows who she is. Not in comparison to anybody else. And they be hating on her, but from the sidelines. How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. We got to switch up this narrative, folks. We got to switch it up. We got to switch it up. We got to switch it up. We got to do something different to get a different result. We can't keep living the same way and expect it's going to be different. Oh, my relationship is the problem. These men are this. Stop it. Stop it. There are plenty of good men out there. But if you're not a magnet to them, then you got to shift that aspect. And again, I would recommend watching that video. Yeah, that video is going up for a reason. It's the most attractive quality of a woman, I believe is the title. I'm going to make sure to link it to this one. But that video is going up because there's nothing but truth in there. Self-respect is the foundation. It's the cornerstone. And when you have that, everything else builds on top of that. And you'll start taking care of yourself. You start being healthier. You start taking care of your mind. You start moving different. You don't have this sense of trying to, puff out your chest, but instead you can really be cool with it. You can be slick with it. You can be erratic. I can be, wild and eccentric and whatever your personality is, but you don't have this need to, rise above anybody else. That's what a lot of this modern feminism is teaching y'all. They teach y'all, you need to be better than man. No, we need to be perfect partners. We need to be in perfect union with each other to bring our differences and bring them together. We were made to be together in such a way. We really were. The masculine and the feminine and the masculine. It's a beautiful combination, not to be better than one another. Trying to get gangsta on somebody? Absolutely not. That's going to chase them away immediately. So if this video resonated with you, let me know if you have any further questions. I'll go do deep dives and things of that nature. But make sure to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, do the damn thing, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a hardening heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a